So let's try a couple more examples. I'm going to use red for f of x and blue for g of x. So since this first one is saying f of 3, that means I'm going to write my function f of x, making sure to use parentheses. So parentheses squared plus 3, and I'm going to substitute in 3. And remembering PEMDAS, I need to do my exponent first. So 3 squared is 9 plus 3, so that equals 12. The next one is doing g of 3. So that means I'm going to write out g, so parentheses plus 1. What am I putting in the parentheses? The 3. Well, 3 plus 1 equals 4. Then I have f of x, so that's going to be something squared plus 3. What am I plugging in? Negative 2. Now we want to be careful. A negative number squared is always positive, so negative 2 squared is 4 plus 3 equals 7. Once again, make sure right here, squaring a negative gives me a positive. At any time, if you feel like you're good to go, you can pause and try them on your own. Parentheses plus 1, since we're doing g, plugging in 0, and 0 plus 1 is just 1. So for these, what I like to do these separately, and then in this case I'm going to add the answers. So f of 2, something squared plus 3, plugging into here. So 2 squared is 4, plus 3 is going to give me 7. So I know f of 2 is 7. I'm going to add that to whatever g of 1 is. So g of 1, I come over here to my scratch work. G of 1, parentheses plus 1. So substituting 1, well, 1 plus 1 is just 2. So f of 2 plus g of 1 is just going to give me 7 plus 2, which is a final answer of 9. Let's try the next one. So g of negative 1. I'm going to stop my color coding a little bit. So negative 1 plus 1 gives me 0. And then bringing down my plus. And f of 1, parentheses squared plus 3. 1 squared is going to be 1, plus 3 is 4. So my final answer for that is 4. Now, the next couple of questions are something special we'll talk about in a while called composition. And what we do with this is we're going to start at the inside. So this one is telling me the first thing I need to do is find g of 2. So let's find g of 2. I'm going to come over here, do scratch work. So that's parentheses plus 1. We're substituting in 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. And so what I'm going to do is take that 3 and now put it inside instead of g of 2. So this is going to become f of, we just found, 3. And if I scroll back up here, did we already find what f of 3 was? Yes. So that's going to be 12. Work smarter, not harder. So that's kind of like a next level type question. Once again, you start with the inside. So this one, I'm going to start with f of 0. So f of 0 means something squared plus 3. 0 squared is 0, plus 3 gives me 3. So I'm going to replace that whole f of 0 with 3. This is like I'm finding now g of 3. And g of 3, g of x was something plus 1. The something I'm doing is 3. And 3 plus 1 is 4. These next two are kind of boring because really we aren't going to be evaluating anything. We're just plugging in a variable. So remember, f of x, what was I using? Red. Something squared plus 3. Well, what's that something? Y. All right, that was pretty boring, right? Let's do it with g. G was something plus 1. And the something I'm plugging in is w. So the one thing that isn't written on here, don't worry about those ones on the right, but if you could just add this, say I wanted to do a question and it said g of x equals 15. G of x equals 15. That's different. It's not telling me that my input is 15, it's saying my output is 15. So let me write down g of x just right underneath here. So we said g of x is x plus 1. What do you notice about the left sides right there? Those are the same. Well, if those are the same, that means the right sides are the same. And when we say the same in math, we mean equals. So 15 equals x plus 1. So how would I get x by itself? This is going into solving equations. We would subtract 1 from both sides and get 14. So when they give you something like f of x equals a number or g of x equals a number, notice my answer is what x is. It's what my input is. So let's try another one with that g of x. So let's say my question is g of x equals 7. And remember, g of x in this problem was x plus 1. So we set those two equal to each other. So 7 equals x plus 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. So x equals 6. All right, and we'll do more practice on that in class. Now, why did I not do this with f of x? Because that has something squared, and that is just a little bit too complicated for us right now. So we'll stick with things that are lines.